Okay, hi everybody. So we'll bow in right now. I'm going to do a warm up and maybe one technique. First, I'd like to just say thank you to Yamada Sensei, the technical committee, the board, the working group. The thanks is for decades, years and decades of care and nurturing of the organization and of our practice. And this is just another example of doing that. So thanks to all of you for keeping us going. Now we'll bow in and I'll do a warm up. Ready? Ready? Onegaishimasu. Just breathing. Change. Change. Big circles. Ich, ni, san, shi. Go. Change. Ich, ni, san, shi. Go. Just twist gently. More. Big circles. Bigger. Bigger. And stretch back. And down. Back. Sun. Chi. Go. Hook. Hitch. Touch. Stretch up. Side. Up. Side. Side. Up. Side. Up. Side. Shake. Up. Wide stance. Drop your shoulder. Each. Knee. Sun. Sheep. Go. Rook. Teach. Touch. Deeper. Sink your hips. Lower. And stretch. Down. One side. Change. Change. Go up. Change. One more, deeply. Change. Side to side. Knees together. Make circles. Back and forth. And down. And stretch. And down. Back straight. Balance. Okay. So, of course, on me. And then wide. Balance, stance. And forward. Okay, so these three. Before we do a technique, take this forward stance, back leg straight, shin upright, vertical. If you think you have a long, deep stance, make it deeper. Take your wrists. Tekubiundo, ikyondo, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shich, touch, ku, change. Other side stance. On the wrist, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shich, touch. Change again. Deep forward stance. Nikyo, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shich, touch, ku. Change, other side, deep stance. You're doing a wrist exercise, but you're exercising your legs. Nikyo, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shich, touch, ku, ju. Okay, wide stance, sink your hips, back straight. Put the gaishi. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach, ku, ju. Change. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach, ku, ju. Okay. Left hand meet. I no henko. Irimi tenkan. Ich. Ni. Ich. Ni. Ich. Ni. Yes. Ich. Ni. Ich. Ni. Ich. Ni. Ich. Ni. Now swinging your arms. Ich. Ni. Ich. Ni. Ich. Ni. San. Ni. Inhale. Out. Austin Aikikai has been doing several times a week Zoom. And what we've been developing as a group is a kind of, you can call it a kata, but just tying together a sequence of movements, technique after technique after technique. It comes out to 108 separate movements. It's really about 15 to 17 techniques all strung together, each one with 3 or 4 movements. I'm just going to do one today and maybe talk about the way I've been suggesting people can practice on their own. So, of course, you all know Shomenuchi Irina. Shomenuchi is coming, open, and throw. Okay? But these stances on me, this wide middle stance and this long forward stance, are all in this one movement. On me, pivot, cut down, wide stance, open, throw, full forward stance. So you get to do all 3. So, Shomenuchi's coming. 2, 3. So my front hand meets. 1, 2. Foot opens, step in, throw. 3. Finish with a strong full stance. I'll face this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll face this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter how you count, but one idea is first practice 1 by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever number. I don't care about the number. But each time check that you're in a good stance. Then the next thing is when you transition from one stance to the other, pass through a balanced point. So when I make my irimi, don't just kind of, but I'm coming, transitioning over a balance point, and stepping in and turning. Same thing when I open my tenkan, my balance weight shifts, and I open. So after doing it one by one, then you do it continuously but slowly. If you do the whole 108 slowly like this in a park on a Sunday morning, I guarantee you someone will come and ask you what Tai Chi school you belong to. Of course, number 3 is just do it. And the other thing you can look for is so the first thing is just your lower body. On me, Yiri Han me, Tenkan wide, open step. Second thing is your hands are moving up and down your center line. None of this stuff. So as I make Yiri me, I go up. Go up. As I tenkan and down, my hands are coming down my center. As I throw, my hands are going. So all these different pieces you can look at one by one and then put together. I'm going to hear a gong pretty soon. So I'm just going to keep doing it until the gong. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Hello, this is Wiwao, Golkos Aikikai. Thank you for including me in this series. I really appreciate Yamada Sensei's support, the USAF Technical Committee, the board, everyone. And of course, everybody who's participating today. And Claude Sensei, I am honored to be starting with you. So, Damir, thank you for the warm-up. What we'll do, we'll start on the floor. Typical Ukemi exercises for beginners. I know that some of you all are home or in your home dojos with a mat, maybe not, but at least this allows you to shift your weight to side safely. Move the legs out of the way, changing sides. If you want to, move the legs first, lean back, then sit up. Move the legs out of the way first, lean back, then sit up. If you can do it more fluidly, then shift side to side. Okay? After this shifting, I'm focusing on a point on the wall, maybe a mirror, maybe my computer, making sure on my way back and on my way forward, I don't lose sight of my uke. So I'm going to borrow an uke, onegaishimasu. And we're going to do this exercise that I just did, but we're going to do it in a mirror image. And the idea is that neither one of us lose sight of each other on the way down and on the way up. You can start on the floor, coordinate your breathing, exhale on the fall, inhale when you're seated. So we do this a few times, and then the next level would be on the knees. Posture upright, center up, looking at each other. And we're matching. If you have a partner to work with, you can do this, and she'll match me or I'll match her. If you want to social distance, of course, You can do this even farther. Completely appropriate. Mask on. Upright. And the third level, from here we just rise. As upright as possible, as vertical as we can be, using both legs, not only the front, not only the back. Get your posture together, centered, and then rise from there. Martial focus. Don't take your eyes off of each other. Okay, thank you. That's one of them. Another Ukemi exercise on the floor. We'll be changing from one side to the other. 180 degrees, I'll do this way. Okay? Leaning on the low side, allowing my hip to rotate from left to right, and then the reverse. Clear vision, relaxed, exhale on the fall, and come up. Another way to do this is to turn the other way. So if I'm left side forward here, I'm gonna now turn that way. For beginners, or if you don't have a surface to fall on, just shift. So 180 degrees change to the open side. 180 degrees to the open side. Looking, 180 degrees to the open side. Now if I want to combine the Ukemi with this, I just lean back a little bit. Again, if you still don't have a surface that's too safe, you can just lean back and feel as your weight shifts to your top, and then feel your weight shift to the bottom, and then have this feeling of rising and dropping. Looking first and turning. You notice I'm turning to the open side. So I look, turn, and up, looking again, turning, and up. Okay, now grab the drill if you have, or a bokken, or any stick, broomstick, whatever. Let's look at the hip motion. Just moving the hip from side to side, keeping the jaw attached to your body for now, okay? So I don't have a hami. This way I am using the rotation of my hips to drive the movement of the weapon, like this. And then the other side as well, here. Check that your elbows are down. If you tend to do it with your arm might come out like this. So the profile of your elbow is very low, very thin, this way. Turning the hip, using the hip rotation, right there. A few times, getting the hips loose. Okay, now, get in a hami. So you'll have the drill on the back side, the back hip. So, turn, like that. Rotate, and have a stopping point, right there. Turn, stopping point. Check yourself that you're not turning to do this, because then you'll be giving your back to your partner. So, use the hip first, drive it forward. Use the hip, the back hip turns, drive it forward. Several times. Ich, ni, san, shi. Okay, other side. Left side forward. Joe is on the right, weapon's on the right, driving the right hip forward, right there. Turn. San, shi, and we go. Okay, now, may I borrow you, my dear sensei? So this time, I'm weapon, in this case I'm using a shogo. You can use bokken, you can use a stick. And the reason I'm using it one-handed right now. Of course, with the bokken, we will use it with two, driving it from the right or the left this way. In this case, I'm just using it, emphasizing again the back hip. Okay? So I check my measurement right here. I can do it palm up, or I can do it palm down. If you don't have a weapon, it's okay. Just do it palm up and just do it palm down. But in this case, I have the target practice. So I measure myself here and driving the back hip. Now, be relaxed. Know that your shoulders are relaxed if you swing and the weapon sort of has you can feel the pendulum feeling of the weapon, then your shoulder is relaxed. I say that because sometimes people are doing this movement and the weapon is very static, so that means your shoulder is could have some tension. So just relax and let the weapon move. So now that my shoulder is relaxed, I will leave the weapon just right in front of my leg, so that my hand, the weapon, is attached to my hip. Okay? I'm not driving the movement by swinging back. I am not cocking it back, and I'm not just swinging like that. I am actually using the hip movement from here. I look at my center point, and I drive the movement from the back hip, just like that. From here, I propel it forward using the back hip. So again, if you don't have, it's okay. Be relaxed. This is a little bit like a golf swing, I guess. So each, knee, sun. You notice I'm not gearing up. I'm not using the pendulum. I'm using entirely the movement of the hip, which means I also have to relax the front hip. If my front hip is not relaxed, I tend to trap my back hip from moving, and I tend to use only my arm. So relax the front hip, allow the back hip to rotate forward, and follow it through. Let's do both sides for those of you following. So again, check your measurement. So this measurement is okay, but remember, if I'm going to rotate, it's going to be a little bit farther. So check again that you don't have any tension in your shoulder. Body upright. Leave the weapon in front of the hip. Okay, so check yourself that you're not driving and that you're not just swinging. Relax the upper body. Relax the front hip. Allow the weapon, feel the weight of the weapon. Hold your hands, but firmly, but not too tightly around it. And then use the back hip. So look at my posture and look at my position with it. I not once give my attention away. Sometimes if you tend to swing and you're a little stiff, you do this, and look at my posture now relative to my partner. So maintaining martial focus, always looking, using the weapon, using the body to drive the weapon, and drive. Okay? Thank you. So I just want to do this quick demo because I like using the back hip a lot for technique. So she's just going to hold on to this loop, and she's going to just represent weight for me. So I'm just going to make the belt taut, all right? So I know it's not over tension, it's not slack like this. So I'm just going to take up the slack, just like that. And I'm going to check my hip. If I'm using, here, so I'm in right hammy right now. If I'm using my hip, my front hip, I attach it to my front hip, and I move back. You can give me more weight. And I move back, you see, I'm too tense, I'm too stressed out. And if she releases me at this point, actually my weight is backwards. So in using only the front hip, this way, I drive forward, I drive back, and then if she releases or the tension drops, I can feel that my weight is actually going backwards. Same thing with the back hip. If I only use the back hip, okay, if I only use the back hip, so driving back this way, if I only use it in a linear fashion, like this, and if she releases, actually my weight, I was sending it back. What I want to do with my hip is I want to rotate. Here's my back hip. Okay, so she's holding, she's heavy, and we're in hami, I'm in hami. If I only pull with the back hip to cause kuzushi, to cause off balance in her, in doing so, and she releases, I'm actually off balance as well. What I want to do is a rotation of the back hip. So even if I rotate the front hip, I have little movement. Now, just to show you, I'm just going to rotate the back hip. And in doing the back hip, look, you can sit a little bit. So from here, see, I maintain, I'm going to put slack. I'm going to maintain my posture, but at the same time, I'm thinking of my back hip. And I cause her weight to fall forward. If I just use my front hip, see, even if I attach myself, see? And this is the pulley system. We know the pulleys are very powerful tools. So I use the back hip in a pulley fashion. looking at her, bang. How does this relate to our techniques? Let's see. Kachatoi. So here, sometimes we tend to use the front only. So go ahead and a little strong. If I want to break her balance and I only use the front, you know, she can also muscle me, or she can also use her own balance to counterbalance. Now, if I think of the pulley system, here, I make connection, I make contact, and now look. Big difference. Hold. So here, check yourself, check the front. I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna pull some more. Now if she releases, obviously, my weight is behind me. So I wanna maintain my weight in front. There's a temi here. I make the connection, and I use the pulley system. And I make that effect on her. From here, of course, we can have other techniques. For example, okay. Kohami. Here, again, check here, go ahead and be strong. Checking here, I have to relax. I have to release the front hip so I can use the back hip, okay? Like that. There it is. If you have somebody that you can work with, have them hold here, check the front, and check the way you use the back, like a pull. Another way to do it, if you have someone that is willing to help you out, you can do the same thing this way. Okay, she represents weight. I stand in a hami like this. I can just try to pull the jo. I can use a back hip just to pull the jo, or I can use a hip in a rotating way. Okay, even if I want to use all my arm, this manner, it's the back hip that gets involved. One more time. Checking, always do both sides here. Pulling in a linear way. Hold me. Pulling in a linear way, see? Of course, you know what happens if she lets go of the jo, I'll be falling on the floor. Or, have your posture upright. Center on the floor. Turn the front hip to relax, and use the back hip. And it looks like I'm undisturbed, but I'm actually using the pulley system of the front. We can use that in kata, here, this way, see? Instead of using the front hip, I engage the back hip. And I can easily break her balance with the back hip. Right? So, I'm sorry. Here. This is my original front hip. Boom, I will make it my back hip. So as I bring it back, remember the pulley can move this way or it can move this way. In this case, I am moving it that way. And then, when I turn, I charge it again, and then I move it this way. Take a look. Front hip, no pulling. If she lets go, there's my relationship with her. So, from here, charge it, make a new back hip, make a new back leg, and now I rotate the hip, breaking her balance. And then from here, using the back hip again. Okay. So one more exercise if I have time to facilitate balance and hip strength. You can do this without a weapon. If you're going to do that, just make sure, try to touch the bottom of your palm to the floor. This way. Upright, looking. Palm down, and then palm up. If you want to work with a weapon, do the same thing, except I'm thinking now at the tip of the weapon. So I'm challenging my balance another 2 feet, and my arc, of course, is much larger now. The idea is to break my balance, and the idea is from my hip to counterbalance that, and then bringing it back up. Challenge the balance all the way to the ground. Bring it up. And up. Doing both sides. If you're following, now right side forward, looking ahead. Again, if you don't have a weapon or if you don't have the balance right now, Just use your arm, strike as far as you can, almost throwing your balance off and controlling it using the front hip. Bending the front knee. Now, extending a little farther, a little stronger, a little heavier. And back up. Up and out. I try to do both sides evenly, because sometimes we have one side dominance, very good on one side, very strong muscles, or very tense. Out and out. Now, we can do where, so this is left side forward, and now we're going to do the same thing, holding the weapon, rotating 180 degrees, right side forward, and look, blade side down. Now I was okay here. Now it's EQ, blade side up. I rotate, and I take the same exercise. The difference is, on this side, I have right foot forward, left hand, and when I do the strike, I'm left foot forward, left hand. So let's do that a few times. Let's just do this twice. Strike first, turn, and take Ukemi. Showman, up, up, rotate, accompany that, attention, and bring it down. Do the right side forward. Now, EQ, coming up over the head. If you don't turn by now, you're going to have a very hard fall. Turn, accompany the weapon, accompany the movement, allow it to go over, and control that. One more time. Here, over, 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 and down. Okay, I'm going to use about 30 seconds to do an exercise for your core. Just changing sides. So I'm not touching the floor with my feet, maintaining my core activated. Feel the Ukemi here. These are the same muscles we use for Ukemi. If you feel your back, make an adjustment, maybe shorter legs. But the idea is one hip at a time. On my right hip, on my left hip, on my right hip, or on my left. Okay? So everybody got something out of it. I believe that my time is up. Thank you very much for participating if you were able to. And looking forward to the next few classes that are coming up. Thank you very much.
Bout Sensei, you're good to go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And thanks everyone for being there and helping us to keep USAF Aikido alive. Thanks to Yamada Sensei, to the USAF organizers, and Wiwa and Damir for sharing that time with me. And I have a okay, Enrique Insua. I'm laughing because he was training with us. He came to train from January to April, but there's no flight back to Venezuela, so now he's in my house. So that's why I take him for Ukemi. I know that you don't have an Uke, so what I'll do is I'll try to show some techniques, you know, some otoshis. I'll show the footwork that we're gonna do together, and Enrique, he can, you know, help me to demonstrate the technique. But after that, we do the footwork. Donc, on va faire des techniques des otoshi, puis Enrique va m'aider, mais on va faire les déplacements ensemble. On va commencer. We start with Seioi Otoshi. Just to say it is tough, huh? So here you grab, you move, then like this, right? So the first thing, I need to bring his weight forward, right? So I kind of move like this, and my feeling after is to go and hit him here, right? Donc la sensation, c'est d'aller frapper. Et ensuite, you don't have a bouquet, but you can have one. It would be easy to get one like this, an elastic band, right? Just hold it. So you can put that, you know, you can make a knot and put it in in a door. So that gives you, don't move on. So that gives you some resistance. For instance, when you do that motion, you just raise like this. Then after that, the elastic band should not go back to that point. So if I move like this, then when I'm getting there, my partner has his both heels on the mat, so he's very, very strong. Okay? Donc quand je le fais, j'essaie d'amener le poids de mon partenaire sur son pied avant. Donc l'élastique doit rester tendu. So the elastic band should be tense all the time. Puis je vais pousser ici. Okay? Quand vous le faites, les déplacements, the footwork, you just move back, puis ensuite, ce pied-là, this foot gonna push the other one. Then you go knee down. As you do that, you're gonna try to push your arm upward with that kind of angle, not straight here. A little forward so it's stronger. Ils sont un peu en avant pour être plus fort. Donc, mais vous avez toujours l'impression, always the feeling is you go like this, then this. Right? Fait qu'on va l'essayer ensemble. We do that footwork for Seiyoi Otoshi. Tranquillement, very slowly. For that. Right? So you first step back, then your feet together, then push like this, and you go down. You keep your arm close to your ear. Vous gardez le bras près de l'oreille et vous descendez. Okay? So you keep your arm straight and just go down this way. Okay? Encore une fois, one more time. So you're like this. Step back like kokyu. So you bring your partner like this. Huh? So up, then kick and push. Okay, the other side, step back, feet together, down and up. Okay, again, step back, reculer, kick. Okay, we try a little faster, just a little. Okay, so step back, kick and down. Okay, step back, kick and down. Right? So that's good on that. If you do like katatetori, it could be also done if you do like ushiro tekubitori. Just from there. Right? So from here, you just step back. Then when you bring like this, both feet back. Not both feet back, only one. But I'm like this. Just wait. I'll put that in. Right? So this one, step back, raise, like grabbing for Sankyo, then step back, then cut down. When you do that movement, you need to have your back, your back touching his belly. If I'm like this, you're gonna pull me back easily. If you feel like here you try to throw him and he's heavy, you cannot resist, you cannot do it, raise, then cut down. So all you have to do is raise your knee and cut down like this, okay? So we try this one now, okay, just footwork, okay? Just a déplacement. So step back, one step, raise both hands, step back with the left, and cut down. All right, so you go, step back, one step, bring both hands up, like you grab your own edge. C'est comme si vous preniez le tranchant de votre main, release, step back, cut. So there's two step back, huh? So you first step back, raise, step back, down. All right, step back, raise, step back, down. All right, so that's another way to do that movement. Then you can do it also from a ryotetori. So if you come a ryotetori, okay, I would go like this, go on his shoulder, and keep it up like that. Then I use this arm. Okay, so just on there. When you do this, shoulder to shoulder, this thumb is up. So I push his arm. When I push his arm, that makes his body move. I use this other hand on the shoulder blade, then I just kind of rotate. So this one push, the other one kind of pulling, and you drop your center at the same time. Drop the center and slide your hand to his wrist. Keep it like think about the elastic band. So you keep it in front like this. Then, okay. Slide in and come. Then the same footwork than the first we did. Okay. So we try that together. First, slide in. It's like touching shoulder to shoulder. The left hand, if you have the right foot forward, on the shoulder blade, tenkan, raise the left hand, then the back foot, come and kick the front one. Vous poussez avec le pied arrière sur le pied avant, puis vous descendez. Okay? So, you slide in, tenkan, push, drop. Okay? The other side, slide in, tenkan, push, drop. Okay? So that's 3 ways to do this movement, Seiyori Otoshi. So you can start this one, use the edge of your hand and cut the wrist like this. Then as you come in, you grab. Okay? So here, another way, stepping back 2 times on Ushiro Tekubidori, up, step back, cut, and on Ryotetori, slide in, turn. Okay? Another movement, Ryo Katatori, right? Uki Otoshi, that's it. This, when you grab like that, right? As he comes, I can just move sideways and let him go through that. That's when you have motion, quand il est en mouvement, right? But if you grab and there's no motion, that would be easier, let's say on a katate or ryotetori, then you need to step back. Then, like this. But when you come, sorry? Was that a question or? Yes? I don't hear you. So when he comes, just so this way. If he's coming this way, my front foot stays there, my right foot moves. Right? Then I try to move my foot so when I bring my knees down, my knees are shoulder wide, and I have about 90 degrees here and in the back. It's important to keep the foot like this. C'est important de mettre dans la ligne. If you bring your foot this way and you pull your partner, then you're going to fall down. So this one gives you support. Le pied en arrière donne un support. Then you rotate the hips this way. So when I finish, my hand should be in line with my back foot. Okay? So if you do that with the elastic band, you feel it like this. Okay? So you can pull, then feel that motion like this, that you're going this way. Try not to come this way. So you keep the extension all the time. Okay, just this way. Okay. So again, he's coming, just move out of the way. Okay. Inside. Right. So when he grabs, you bring, that's okay. You bring your arms inside like this. So don't think about opening the elbows. Pensez pas à ouvrir les coudes, mais pensez à monter comme ça. Just think that you're going up. Okay. So you bring your both hands together, go up, then you choose your side. Okay. Then this one, you feel like you're punching like this or in the ribs, but use the hips. Okay. So we do the footwork. That's not so complicated. You're just like this. Move, turn. Use your body weight. So if you have enough space between your feet, you can use your body weight. Si vous êtes trop petit, if it's too close, then you cannot move much. So try to get about 90 degrees in the front, about 90 degrees in the back. So you do that motion, at the same time turn. Turn your shoulder. Okay, so once more, you go, step, the other side, step, turn. Right, step, turn. If you do it, then it's static, then you need to make your partner move. So when you do these, when you do that, you need, like in the first movement, you need like a cocu, right? Hold tight, tight. You don't pull like this. Hein? J'essayais pas de tirer, mais juste cocu. So you bring him up. Ensuite, then I can move backward, then bring him. So in that case, you step back, then le pied avant revient ici. Right? Then you bring back the back foot that was back in the beginning. Donc, juste reculer, tourne. The other side, up, turn. Right? You go, up, turn. Up, turn, right? This motion, you can do that also if you get this way, you get speed, right? I just move the side, right? So he comes, I can just go the other side, please. You just go here, this way, right? Could be possible to the other side, okay, this side, here, then you move in front, just bring him on top. So if we do the first one, just here, you grab. When you grab, quand vous prenez, pendant. Parce que when you bring back your hand, then you have more power like this. And if I grab like that, I just can do this. But this way, I use the rotation of the arm as well. Okay, so it comes, you move, palm down. Then I bring here, as this one goes right there, right? Thank you. So we try this. Just slide in, keep both hands, always your center in the middle of your hands, toujours votre centre entre vos deux mains. Just move the back foot, then pivot. Okay, so side. Uki otoshi. Uki otoshi means floating. So your partner should, I don't think he's gonna float. Je pense pas qu'il va voler, but he should fall not over there, but he should fall like he's falling this way, but he moves to the side at the same time. Okay. So slide in, Turn the other side. Side in. 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 Right? So that was like 2 movements we did. Seiyori Otoshi and Uki Otoshi. There, of course, there's many applications on other attacks, but with the time we have, I think we're gonna end up soon. So we're gonna stretch a little. The way we stretch, you bring your hands and your feet shoulder wide. When you're like this, don't push your belly forward. Keep it hands here and just bring your hands backward. Keep your weight on your heels and exhale. Keep your legs straight, down, head down, exhale. La tête en bas, expirez. Then when you come up, contract the lower abdominals and a little faster, breathe in and come up. Right? So you just go here, in, exhale, inhale, exhale. That's very good for your lower back, especially after you took some ukemi or you twist your body. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Right? I will finish with, when you do the minute, so just to give you some ideas, maybe sometimes, like this, just when you practice Kotegaishi, same thing, keep the tension, turn. If you want to do Shihonage, the tension. If you want to do Nikyo, keep turn. And after that, you find your own, okay? Thank you. So we're gonna bow out, and again, thank you to the organizer. Thank you, Yamada-sensei. Thank you for being here. It's sunny. I don't know how it is in your place, but thank you. And if you come by Montreal, you're welcome to stop by. Thank you. Thank you.